Hi and welcome to Journeys Begun. In today's video, I am going to tell you about a trip that I took to another side of Hawaii's Big Island. Previously, I was at Hilo and visited Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Check out my earlier video if you missed it. But today I am at Kona, on the other side of the Big Island. Kona is world-renowned for its coffee, grown on the slopes of the Hualalai and Mauna Loa volcanoes. The unique volcanic soil and ideal climate contribute to the coffee's distinctive flavor. Since I arrived here on a cruise ship, we could not anchor at port. Rather, a tender dropped us off at Kailua Pier. One of the first things you see as you enter the pier is the Kamakahonu National Historic Landmark, a 1970s reconstruction of the residence of King Kamehameha I at the King Kamehameha Hotel. My plan was primarily to visit Kahalu'u Beach, to chill a bit, and to do some snorkeling. Checking ahead of time, I found that there were a couple of ways to get to the beach since I didn't have a car. The Heleon Bus Route 201, the Kona trolley, is a local public bus that operates along nearby Ali'i Drive and stops at Kahalu'u Beach Park. This bus operates 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. with departures every 60 minutes. The general fare for this bus is $2. But to me, the Kona hop-on, hop-off bus tour sounded like fun, although it is comparatively more expensive, being a guided tour. I felt it would be a great way to learn more about the various sites and stops along the way. Its operator is Clark's Hawaii Tours, and they stop at a number of interesting places. I will leave a link to their website in the description below. This is not a sponsored review in any way. My intention is to help others out by sharing my own experience. This tour is available year-round, primarily on cruise ship days. Some of the stops are worth checking out and are mostly along the Kona coast. These buses depart the Kailua Pier every 30 minutes, starting at 9:30 a.m. The current cost is $38 per person. The entire loop without hopping off takes approximately 1 hour. The departure times are based on cruise ship schedules, so it's best to check the booking schedule for the most up-to-date information. Some reviews indicate that the schedule might not always be strictly followed. When I was there, we just had a wait of about 25 minutes. It didn't bother me, as there's plenty to see nearby in the meantime. Walking to the edge of the pier, I saw a local fisherman throw a line into the crystal clear waters. Almost immediately, a big school of fish collected. It was amazing to see so many colored fish appear so fast. I also learned that the Kona glass-bottom boat launches from here. You can sign up for the manta ray encounters. The Kona coast is a prime location for spotting manta rays, particularly at night on the manta ray boat tours. I read somewhere that Kailua Bay was once a major cattle shipping area, where animals were stampeded into the water and forced to swim to steamers waiting to transport them to Honolulu slaughterhouses. Now, you just see people fishing or swimming in the clear waters. Kailua Pier is also the starting point for the Ironman World Championship. If you so wished, you could take a short walk down Ali'i Drive to the nearby shops. Across the bay is Mokuai Kaua Church. It is the oldest church in Hawaii. Soon it was time for us to hop aboard the bus. On the way, the tour guide told us about Kona's famous coffee and described the sights we passed in a most amusing and entertaining manner. About 20 minutes later, the bus stops at Kahalu'u Beach Park. It looked great from the road, but approaching the beach area, you realize that there isn't much real estate on the waterfront itself. I was surprised by the amount of people there on a weekday afternoon. But, oh well, cruise ship crowd, I guess. There is no large stretch of sandy beach, and it was kind of noisy with people and kids in close proximity. I wanted to swim and snorkel, so it didn't bother me much. I was soon wading carefully through rocky outcrops. So far, my experience of Hawaiian beaches has been mostly of ones that might be sandy on land, but once you step into the waves, you have to be careful walking as there's rocks and corals. Maybe I'm going to all the wrong places. Nevertheless, I must mention that having water shoes has helped me immensely. I slip them on when I leave the ship, they stay on if needed in the water, and are good enough for short strolls after, as they dry quick. Anyway, I digress. I found the water here to be a little clearer than Hanauma Bay Beach, where I had been earlier. Check my video list for that trip. And I also saw a few other different species of fish here. I saw another reef triggerfish, or humu, but this fellow was a little friendlier than the other one I saw in Hanauma Bay. I wondered if they were fished for eating, but I read that it is not a common fish you will find on a dining table. Early Hawaiians would actually use dried humu as fuel for cooking fires to create other more desirable fish dishes. At any rate, stay away from these guys, they can bite. After my swim, I caught the hop-on bus back to Kailua Pier. I had wanted to spend a little time checking out the area nearby, but first I was hungry and needed a place to grab a bite. Taking a walk down Ali'i Drive, I got to Kona Inn Shopping Village and the Kona Inn restaurant, less than half a mile away from the pier. Here I had some lovely coconut shrimp, fish and chips, and a much-welcomed piña colada. All thoroughly enjoyed while having stunning, unobstructed ocean views. There is much more to see in Kona, Kailua. The shopping areas give you the usual tourist shopping experience, along with their eyebrow-raising prices, but you can find some reasonably priced souvenirs here and there. While here, you might want to check out Hulihe'e Palace. It is worthwhile visiting here if you like to witness firsthand a bit of Hawaiian history. Built in 1838 and used by Hawaiian royalty, it was restored and reinvigorated by the Daughters of Hawaii, who currently run the museum and offer tours if you like. They accept a small donation fee at the back door. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to take the entire tour, but reviews say it's definitely worth every dollar. Inside, you will see koa furniture, admire the architecture, interior design, artifacts, historical photography, and pictures of royalty of this well-kept palace. You are asked to take your shoes off and wander about barefoot, but if that doesn't sound good to you, they will provide you with slip-on covers for your shoes. I have heard the flooring is immaculate and made with local materials, so the feel is incredible. Unfortunately, it was soon time to head back to the ship. I did enjoy the few hours I spent in Kona, and hope to one day return to see more of this wonderful place. Thank you for joining me on this trip. And here's Journey's begun asking you to make a little journey of your own sometime, somewhere, into nature near you.